Hello, and welcome to Wages of Cine's 12 Days of Christmas. Merry Holidays. Happy times to everybody. I am Eric Miller, and for this review, for this jolly season, I was given the extreme pleasure of reviewing this movie. It is called Krampus: The Reckoning. I'll read you the DVD case. Zoe is a strange little girl with a not-so-imaginary friend, the Krampus, who is the dark companion of kindly old St. Nicholas. The Krampus has been unleashed upon a small town, and the legendary demon will seek out all the naughty people to punish them at Christmas time. No one is safe as the Krampus hunts them down, tortures them, and then drags their helpless souls to the depths of hell. That's the synopsis on that. I wish it was the synopsis for the movie that I watched, because it was pretty, it was an interesting story. I'm going to give away some of the movie, or maybe all of it. This little girl, Zoe, she's obviously a problem child. She's had issues. She has this little box that she keeps with her, and in this box is yarn and a little Krampus doll.
Tell me about this little guy.
He's the Krampus.
With chains on each wrist and then a little chain on the doll. And I found it interesting that was a neat way that the way she, I guess, summoned Krampus was she would use her knitting to create a doll of the people she didn't like and that she wanted Krampus to get. And then once that was done, she'd take out the Krampus puppet and take the little shackles off of the doll, which I'm guessing unleashed the demon of Krampus to come and exact revenge and kill, murder. And, I didn't like the fact that the Krampus, all he ever did was just burn people. That's all that happened. They would just get reduced to basically a spontaneous combustion looking thing. There was never any, slashing or hacking or mutilating. It was just, there's Krampus, and then there's a burned body. So the kills were pretty much boring, if you will. Also, a big problem for a lot of people who I've talked to who have seen this is that the Krampus itself is not a actor in a suit. It's really, really cheesy CG, as you can see on the cover. We'll pop a picture of that up in a minute. It just looks very bleh. It's not really scary. It's not really well done. You can easily tell when you see the Krampus against the back or the background. It's like, yeah, that's horrible. But hey, what? We like horrible movies here. The acting, there's no big names in it. It's an independent film. It's directed by, let me find, Robert Conway, who I believe also did Krampus Unleashed, which I believe Mr. Stephen Gillum is going to have a review for. The acting was, for the no-name people, the acting was pretty decent. The actor who played the main cop, I believe his name was Miles, he always had that kind of gravelly, he never really, there was no enunciation to his voice. Every line he was like, and it contained one of my pet peeves in movies, which is pointless nudity. Again, nudity for the sake of the movie. If it needed to be there, I understand. But if you just have nudity for nudity's sake, just to show, there's no point. It takes away from the story, and that happened a couple times in this movie. At one point, actually, I believe she wound up. She was having the bang bang with Krampus himself. So, go big man. I don't know. Yeah, but the part that I did like was the idea of that the Krampus was basically summoned by this little girl who had the Krampus doll totem. So she was in charge of exacting revenge. So, that idea is cool. The fact that basically if you piss off this little girl, she's going to kill you. whatever. But there's a little bit of a, once you learn, I swear this alarm is going to ruin everything in my life. Once you learn the twist at the end, it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, now that makes sense. Oh, okay, yeah, that. Yeah, but the main girl, the demon girl, if you want to call her that, Zoe, is, foster child, bounces from house to house to house. And there's a string of mysterious happenings in her past, which, again, you learn. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but you learn it was the twist was, you could see it coming pretty early on, but it was a good idea. I like the way they handled the Krampus in this one, and hopefully this guy makes, in the other movie, his CG was a little bit better, more believable. I'm going to give it a rating, scale of 1 to 5, 1 being never watch it again, 5 being I loved it and watch it a lot. I will give this movie 2 chained Krampus dolls, because that was the coolest part of this movie for me, that the little twist on how Krampus comes around. So that is it for Krampus the Reckoning. Dun dun dun. Stay tuned for the next 12 Days of Christmas review from one of the other Wages of Sin guys, and I will see you next time. Have a Merry Christmas holiday spirit time festivities.